You would be in contact with many of the Liberal members, the coalition members. Do you think they're a united outfit at the moment?
Look, I haven't been back in the parliament. I know after the last election they were really shell-shocked at what happened. Who knows what the effect is going to be after this one. They're going to be really in disarray, and I hope they get their act together and try some sort of defence on the floor of parliament. Last time they were hopeless, absolutely hopeless. I didn't see any, pushback of what the Labor Party was doing at all. So it's going to be quite interesting to see the performance on that floor of parliament, although this time we've got Michaela Cash. She's a far better performer on the floor of parliament than what Simon Birmingham was, who was too moderate, and he actually gave Penny Wong no pushback whatsoever.
Well, of course, climate and energy policy is a real problem for the coalition. It's been a running sore for 2 decades, of course. At the moment, they're committed to net zero and they have a nuclear plan to get there. What happens if they mess with either of those policies?
Well, I think they'll get a lot of the public on side. It can't keep going the way it's going because Chris Bowen has made an absolute mess of it, and you've got more companies and businesses shutting down. It will happen. Jobs are going. People will finally wake up. Chris, until the people out there start hurting enough and people are going to lose their jobs, the interest, the cost is going to go up for electricity, which is going to drive the cost of industries manufacturing, which will go offshore. So I think there's a lot of hurt and pain that's going to happen in the next 3 years. So when that happens, then people might start to wake up themselves. Why the hell did they actually put Labor back in there with the Greens, supported the Greens, pass whatever they want to on the floor of Parliament? And I'm fearful of the next 3 years, but can't do anything about it. No. I will push my policies. I'm totally against net zero, totally against it. It's rubbish. We're destroying our country, the prosperity of this country, pushing for this net zero.
Well, instead of sort of agreeing with Labor that some sort of holy writ, this net zero by 2050 thing, the coalition could start by pointing out, as I've just done, that most of the world is not signed up to this target. So you don't have to treat it as something that's sacrosanct. It's ridiculous. Just getting on to another issue, though, that you've followed strongly, of course, over the decades, immigration. Yeah. The latest figures show yet again that despite promising it's getting immigration under control, Labor's failing to do that.
Of course they're failing to do it because there's a lot of people that are actually overstaying the visas, and this is what I said to them. We've found out 75,000 people were overstaying the visas. Now it's blown up to the first quarter of this year to 380,000 people that are overstaying their visas and now go through the Australian Tribunal and review, and as soon as they put in an application, that gets them to stay in the country, bridging visas, they're allowed to work, everything. So these are former students that don't want to return home. They use it as a ploy to stay in the country and actually get permanent residency. And these are all people basically coming from Southern Asian countries. So we're in a world of pain, Chris, I tell you. We really are.
It's an extraordinary situation because Labor has agreed with the proposition that there's been too much immigration. They've promised that they'll start to rein it in. So it's not contentious. The fact is everybody in politics is saying we've got to drop immigration, but Labor's just failing to deliver on that promise. Sounds familiar, but we didn't hear a lot about it during the election campaign, strangely enough. I just want to go to the count. It's continuing everywhere, but also in Tasmania, the Senate count. It looks to have improved for Jackie Lambie. Is there only going to be one Hanson in the Senate in the coming term?
Look, Chris, it's going to be awfully hard. We're sitting waiting on about 4 states for that button to be pushed next week for the Senate count. So that's Western Australia, Victoria, New South Wales and also Tasmania. Don't underestimate where the preferences go. Last election, they had me on the 6th seat. I ended up winning the 5th seat. So anyway, it came down to the preferences. So until that button is pushed, we don't know where we're going to stand with all this. Hopefully, I'd love to see Lee on the floor of Parliament for her ability to be able to do the job, not because she's my daughter, because I think that she would make a wonderful Member of Parliament. But then again, like I said, I'm waiting to see if we win other Senate seats in the other states as well. We will wait and see what happens when they hit reset on that computer in a week or so. Thanks for joining us, Pauline. I appreciate it.